The ship called Serendipity cut through the dark of space, its light shining against the black. Inside, Dr. Han Jinwoo looked at the planet growing larger on the screen. Planet Taral was mostly green and blue, with white clouds swirling across its surface. First human ship to Taral, Jinwoo said to himself. He touched the screen gently. What are you hiding down there? Jinwoo was the lead scientist on this trip. He studied animals from other worlds. At 42, he had visited 12 planets, but Taral made him feel like a new student again. Excited? Asked a voice from behind. Jinwoo turned to see Kim Sun-hee, the ship's security officer. She was tall, with short black hair, and moved like someone who knew how to fight. Her eyes were always watching, always ready. Very, Jinwoo said. The reports say Taral has some of the most interesting animals we've ever found. Sun-hee nodded. And some of the most dangerous. That's why I'm here. She was right. Taral was famous for its hunters, big animals that sat at the top of the food chain. The early robot probes had sent back videos of huge creatures with teeth and claws that could tear through metal. We land in 2 hours, Sun-hee said. Captain wants everyone ready. The landing was smooth. The ship touched down in a clearing surrounded by tall trees with purple leaves. Jinwoo led the first team outside, with Sun-hee and 4 other scientists, following close behind. The air smelled sweet and a little like mint. Jinwoo took deep breaths as he set up his equipment. The grass under his feet was not green, but a light blue color. Stay within 50 meters of the ship, Sun-hee told everyone. She held her stun rifle easily like it was part of her arm. And keep your emergency buttons close. The scientists spread out, taking samples and pictures. Jinwoo walked to the edge of the clearing where the forest began. He knelt down to study some small, 6-legged creatures that looked like a mix between ants and butterflies. Find something good? Sun-hee asked, coming to stand behind him. Look at how they work together, Jinwoo said, pointing. They're building something, but I can't figure out what. Sun-hee was about to answer when she froze. Her hand moved to her rifle. Don't move, she whispered. Something big is watching us. Jinwoo slowly turned his head toward the trees. First he saw nothing. Then the shadows seemed to move and he realized a large shape was hiding there. Back to the ship, Sun-hee said quietly. Slow steps. Jinwoo started to move but then stopped. Wait, I think it's... The creature stepped out from the trees. It was huge, bigger than Earth's largest tigers. It had 6 legs, each ending in paws with sharp claws. Its body was covered in scales that caught the light and broke it into all the colors of the rainbow. Its face was cat-like, with 4 yellow eyes and teeth that hung down past its jaw. That's the prismatic hunter, Jinwoo whispered. The apex predator of this region. Sun-hee raised her rifle. It's too close. Move behind me. But Jinwoo couldn't move. The giant creature was looking right at him. Their eyes met, and Jinwoo felt something strange, like the animal was not just seeing him but understanding something about him. The prismatic hunter took another step forward. Everyone at the ship was now watching, some with weapons raised. I'm going to fire a warning shot, Sun-hee said. No, Jinwoo said. Wait, it's not attacking. The creature was now just 10 meters away. It could jump the distance in a second if it wanted to, but it didn't. It just stared at Jinwoo, its 4 yellow eyes fixed on his face. Then slowly it lowered its head, not like it was getting ready to attack, but more like a small bow. It held the position for 3 seconds, then turned and walked back into the forest, its rainbow scales flashing one last time before it disappeared. Everyone was quiet. Then all the scientists started talking at once. Did you see that? It just walked away. Was it sick? That can't be normal behavior. Sun-hee lowered her rifle but didn't look happy. That thing was checking us out, maybe deciding if we're worth eating. No, Jinwoo said. It was recognizing something. Did you see how it looked at me? Saw a predator way too close to my team, Sun-hee said. Let's get back to the ship and check the video. I want everyone inside for now. That night, Jinwoo sat in the ship's lab, watching the video of the encounter over and over. The image was clear. The prismatic hunter had focused only on him, had made direct eye contact, and then had backed away. You're still up? Sun-Hee said, walking into the lab. She had changed out of her uniform into simple black clothes, but Jinwoo noticed she still had her small pistol at her side. I can't stop thinking about what happened, Jinwoo said. Look at this. He showed her another video, this one from the robot probe sent months earlier. In it, the same kind of creature, a prismatic hunter, was attacking a large deer-like animal with 8 legs. See how it moves? Quick, aggressive, no hesitation, Jinwoo pointed out. Now look at our video. It's the same species but totally different behavior. Sun-Hee watched both videos again. Maybe it wasn't hungry. These animals have killed probes. Before. They attack anything strange in their territory, but it just stared at me. At your eyes, Sun-Hee said suddenly. Jinwoo looked up. What? I've seen something like this before, she said. In my military days, we had animal training. Big dogs would challenge new people, get aggressive. But if you made direct eye contact and didn't show fear, they would back down. She pointed to the screen. It looked at you like it recognized something in your eyes. Jinwoo felt a chill run down his back. You think it saw me as another predator? Maybe. Sun-Hee shrugged. Or maybe it saw something else, something that made it decide we weren't worth the trouble. Jinwoo turned back to the screen. Tomorrow we go out again. I want to see if this happens with other animals too. You think there's a pattern? I don't know, Jinwoo said. But I'm going to find out. The next morning, the team prepared to go out again. This time they had better equipment and more guards. Captain Yoon gave a speech about safety, but Jinwoo was barely listening. He kept thinking about those yellow eyes and how they had seemed to see into him. As they walked down the ramp, Sun-Hee came to his side. Stay close to me today. If your theory is right and these animals do recognize something in humans, I want to be nearby when the next one shows up. Jinwoo nodded. I think we're missing something big here. Something important about humans and how other species see us. The sky of Taral was turning pink as its sun rose higher. Jinwoo looked into the forest, wondering what other creatures were watching them from the shadows. For the first time, he wondered if humans might not be so different from the apex predators of other worlds. Maybe they could see it in his eyes. 3 months passed on planet Taral. The human base had grown from just the ship to a small camp with 5 buildings. Scientists came and went each day, studying the strange life forms of this new world. Jinwoo sat in the main lab, looking at pictures on a large screen. Next to him was Park Do-hyun, another scientist who had joined the team 1 month ago. Do-hyun was younger than Jinwoo, with round glasses and quick hands that never seemed to stop moving. That makes 17, Jinwoo said, adding another picture to the wall of images. 17 different predator species all showing the same behavior, Do-hyun said, shaking his head. It's not normal. The pictures showed many different animals, some with 6 legs, some with 8, some with wings, and some that swam. They were all different sizes and shapes, but they were all hunters, and they had all done the same thing when meeting humans. They had made eye contact and then backed away. The small flying hunters from the East Forest did it again yesterday, Jinwoo said. They surrounded Choi and Kim, made eye contact, and then flew away. But they attacked our robot last week, Do-hyun said. Tore it to pieces. Sun-Hee walked into the lab. After 3 months on Taral, she looked different, more relaxed but also more alert. She had small scars on her hands from a close call with a plant that shot sharp seeds. Still trying to figure out why the animals here don't eat us? She asked. With a small smile, Jinwoo nodded. Do-hyun found something interesting, tell her. Do-hyun pushed his glasses up. I looked at reports from other planets, not just Taral. I found something strange. On 26 different worlds, apex predators acted differently toward humans than toward other species. Sun-Hee raised an eyebrow. Different how? They showed restraint, Do-hyun said. They approached, made eye contact, and then left without attacking. Just like here. Sun-Hee crossed her arms. So it's not just Taral. It happens everywhere? Not everywhere, Jinwoo said. But on many worlds with large predators, yes. The pattern is too clear to ignore. Jinwoo pulled up a new image, a chart, showing different alien species and how predators reacted to them. Look, he said. The mech have visited twice as many worlds as humans, but they report predator attacks 3 times more often. The Volari almost always have to use weapons to keep predators away. But humans don't, Sun-Hee said, understanding now. Exactly, Jinwoo said. Something about us makes apex predators from completely different worlds treat us with respect. Voice came over the speakers. All science teams report back to base. Weather warning for Sector 5 through 8. Repeat, all teams return to base. Do-hyun looked out the window. Dark clouds were gathering in the sky. Terral's storms can get bad. We should help bring in the equipment. Jinwoo nodded, but didn't move. Sun-Hee, tomorrow I want to try something. Will you come with me? Depends on what it is, she said. I want to go to the Rock Valley. The reports say blade tails live there. Sun-Hee's eyes widened. Blade tails? They're the second most dangerous predator on this continent. They hunt in packs. That's why I need you, Jinwoo said. I want to test our theory with a different kind of predator. One that hunts in groups. Sun-Hee looked at the pictures on the wall, then back at Jinwoo. Fine, but we bring 2 more security officers and heavy stun weapons. Jinwoo smiled. Deal. The next day was clear and warm. Jinwoo, Sun-Hee, and 2 security officers named Kang and Yoon walked through a narrow path between tall red rocks. The ground was sandy and their boots made soft sounds as they walked. The drone spotted blade tails 2 kilometers ahead, Sun-Hee said, looking at her small screen. A pack of 7. Jinwoo nodded, feeling both excited and nervous. Blade tails got their name from the sharp, flat bones that stuck out from their tails. They could cut through thick hide or human skin with one quick swing. Remember the plan, Jinwoo said. If they approach, we make direct eye contact. No one looks away, no one shows fear. And if that doesn't work, we shoot them and run, added Kang, a short man with a serious face. They walked for another 20 minutes. The path grew wider and opened into a small valley with a stream running through it. There were strange trees with blue bark growing near the water. Sun-Hee suddenly held up her hand. Everyone stopped. Movement, she whispered. 3 o'clock. Jinwoo looked to the right. At first he saw nothing. Then a rock seemed to move, but it wasn't a rock. It was a blade tail, its skin the same color as the stones around it. It was the size of a large wolf with a low, heavy body and 6 short legs. Its head was flat and wide, with eyes on the sides and a mouth full of small, sharp teeth. There's another one, Yoon said quietly, pointing to the left. And 2 more, behind us. They were being surrounded. Form a circle, Sun-Hee ordered. Backs to each other. Remember the plan. The 4 humans stood in a tight circle, each facing outward. Jinwoo watched as more blade tails appeared from behind rocks. There were 7 now, moving slowly closer, their blade-like tails held high. Hold steady, Jinwoo said, trying to keep his voice calm. His heart was beating fast. The blade tails were 10 meters away now. They made clicking sounds to each other, planning their attack. Make eye contact, Jinwoo said. Don't blink. Jinwoo stared directly at the largest blade tail, the one right in front of him. The creature stared back, its yellow eyes narrow and focused. Jinwoo felt sweat on his forehead but didn't wipe it away. He didn't move at all. The blade tail took another step forward. Jinwoo kept staring, forcing himself not to look away. Something changed in the blade tail's eyes. It made a different clicking sound, softer this time. Then slowly it lowered its tail. One by one, the other blade tails did the same. They backed away, still watching the humans, but no longer looking ready to attack. It's working, Sun-Hee whispered. The lead blade tail turned and walked away. The others followed, disappearing behind rocks or into small caves. For a full minute, no one moved. Then Kang let out a long breath. That was too close, he said. Sun-Hee turned to Jinwoo. You were right. They recognized something in us. Jinwoo nodded slowly. Not just in us. In our eyes. What do you mean? Asked Yoon. It's not just that we're human, Jinwoo explained. It's the way we look at them. Direct, focused. He paused. The way a predator looks at another predator. Sun-hee was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "It's not just recognition, it's respect." As they walked back to base, Jinwoo thought about what had happened. Predators across different worlds, with different brains and different eyes, all saw something in humans that made them back down. But what was it? What did they see? Jinwoo knew he needed help to answer that question. When they got back to base, he sent a message to Earth, requesting a specialist in how minds work across species. "We need to understand what these animals see when they look in our eyes," he told Sun-hee. "Because whatever it is, it might be the most important thing about humans that we never knew before." Sun-hee nodded. "And if predators can see it," she said, "I wonder who else can too." 2 weeks after the Blade-tail encounter, a small ship landed at the human base on Taral. Dr. Lee Ji-ho stepped out, a tall woman with short gray hair and quick, bright eyes. She carried only one bag and walked with quick steps down the ramp. Jinwoo was waiting for her. "Dr. Lee, welcome to Taral." "Call me Ji-ho," she said, shaking his hand firmly. "No need for formality when we're so far from Earth." Ji-ho was an expert in how minds work across different species. She had studied how animals think on 12 different planets. Jinwoo had requested her specifically after what happened with the Blade-tails. "I've read your reports," Ji-ho said as they walked toward the base buildings. "Fascinating stuff. Predators from different worlds all showing the same response to human eyes. We've documented 23 cases just on Taral," Jinwoo said, "and we found similar reports from many other planets." Ji-ho nodded. "I brought data from my own research too. I want to compare everything we know." In the lab, Jinwoo introduced Ji-ho to Sun-hee and Do-hyun. The four of them sat around a table covered with screens and small models of different alien animals. "I have a theory," Ji-ho said, "but I need more data first. Can you show me all your recordings of these encounters?" For the next 3 days, they watched videos, studied reports, and built a database of predator reactions. Ji-ho asked many questions and took many notes. She spent hours looking at close-up images of human eyes compared to the eyes of predators from Earth and other worlds. On the 4th day, Ji-ho called everyone to the main lab. She had set up a large screen with many images. "I think I know what's happening," she said. "And it's quite remarkable." Jinwoo, Sun-hee, Do-hyun, and several other scientists gathered around. Even Captain Yoon came to hear what Ji-ho had found. "Let me start with a question," Ji-ho said. "What makes humans different from other animals on Earth?" "We have bigger brains," someone said. "We use tools," said another. Ji-ho nodded. "Yes, but there's something more basic. Look at these." She showed pictures of different predators from Earth: a tiger, a wolf, a hawk, a shark. "What do they all have in common?" she asked. "They're all hunters," Sun-hee said. "Yes, and they all have physical features that show they are hunters," Ji-ho said. "Sharp teeth, claws, strong bodies. Now, look at this." She showed a picture of a human. "We don't look like predators," Jinwoo said slowly. "We don't have claws or fangs or great strength." "Exactly," Ji-ho said. "But we are predators. Humans evolved as hunters. We chased animals until they were too tired to run. We made tools to kill from a distance. We used our brains to outsmart prey." She changed the screen to show the eyes of different animals. Most prey animals have eyes on the sides of their heads to see danger coming from any direction, Ji-ho explained. Predators have eyes that face forward to focus on their prey. She zoomed in on human eyes. Human eyes face forward like a predator's eyes. But there's something more. Ji-ho looked around the room. The way we look at things is different. When a tiger watches its prey, it's direct and intense but simple. When a human watches something, there's more happening behind the eyes. "What do you mean?" asked Do-hyun. "We're not just seeing," Ji-ho said. "We're thinking, planning, solving puzzles. Our eyes show that we're predators who hunt with our minds." She showed brain scans of humans and various alien predators. The parts of our brains that handle planning and understanding connect directly to our visual centers. When we look at something, We're not just seeing it, we're figuring it out. And somehow, predators from other worlds can sense this. The room was quiet. Everyone was thinking about what Jiho had said. So when these alien predators look in our eyes, Jinwoo said slowly, they see another kind of predator. One that hunts with its mind. Yes, Jiho said. And that makes us different and dangerous in a way they instinctively understand. Sunhee leaned forward. But we don't look physically threatening. Why would they back down instead of attacking? Because we don't look like normal predators, Jiho explained. We're something new to them. Something that doesn't fit what they know. And animals tend to be careful around things they don't understand. It's more than that, Jinwoo said, thinking. These predators aren't just being careful. They're showing respect. Jiho nodded. I believe so. They see in our eyes a predator that doesn't need fangs or claws. A predator that can think and plan. That's a kind of power they instinctively respect. Captain Yoon spoke up. This is all very interesting, but is it useful? How does this help our mission on Taral? Before Jiho could answer, a loud alarm started, ringing. A voice came over the speakers. All personnel report to the main hall immediately. Emergency message from Earth Command. Everyone hurried to the main hall. The big screen there showed the serious face of General Choi from Earth Command. This is a priority 1 message for all human outposts, the general said. Diplomatic relations with the Kral Imperium have broken down. Their ships have left Earth space and are returning to Kral territory. Jinwoo felt his stomach tighten. The Kral were a reptile-like alien species known for their aggressive nature and strong military. The Kral ambassador has issued what can only be seen as a threat. General Choi continued. All human outposts near Kral space are to prepare for possible conflict. Evacuation orders will follow within 48 hours. The screen went dark, the room filled with worried voices. Taral is close to Kral space, Captain Yoon said loudly, getting everyone's attention. We need to prepare to leave. All research teams begin packing essential materials. All data must be backed up and ready to move. As people rushed to follow, orders, Jinwoo turned to Jiho. We can't leave yet. We're just starting to understand something important. I know, Jiho said, but a war with the Kral would be devastating. They evolved from ambush predators, and they're known for their ruthlessness. Sunhee, who had been listening, suddenly looked thoughtful. Ambush predators, with eyes that face forward. Jiho turned to her. What are you thinking? Just that. Maybe what we've learned about predators and human eyes might be useful for more than just walking safely through the forest of Taral, Sunhee said. Jinwoo looked at her, then at Jiho. A new idea was forming in his mind. If predators across worlds recognized something in human eyes, something that made them show respect, what would happen if humans used that knowledge when facing the Kral? We need to keep working, Jinwoo said firmly. This might be more important than we thought. The next day was chaos at the human base. Everyone was packing equipment, saving data, and preparing to leave Taral. The evacuation ships would arrive in less than 24 hours. Jinwoo, Jiho, and Sunhee sat in a small room away from the noise, still talking about their research. We can't just leave, Jinwoo said. Not when we're close to understanding something this important. Earth Command gave clear orders, Sunhee reminded him. Everyone out. The Kral don't make empty threats. Jiho tapped her fingers on the table. What if our research could help with the Kral situation? The Kral evolved from ambush predators. Their psychology might respond to the same signals as other predator species. Before they could discuss further, the door opened. Captain Yoon entered with a tall, serious-looking man in a military uniform. This is Captain Bak Min-ho, Yoon said. He's leading the military team sent to ensure our safe evacuation. Min-ho nodded stiffly. We've received reports that a Kral scout ship has entered this system. They may be planning to set up a forward base on Taral. The room went quiet. This was bad news. How much time do we have? Sunhee asked. The Kral ship will land in approximately 6 hours, Min-ho said. Our extraction vessels won't arrive until tomorrow morning. We need to speed up the evacuation. and prepare defenses. After the captains left, Jinwoo turned to the others. This changes everything. If the Kraul land here, they might destroy our research before we can save it all. Or worse, Sun-hee said. They might find us still here. Ji-ho was looking at her tablet. I've been reviewing data on the Kraul. Their social structure is based on dominance, like many predator species. They respect strength and are quick to attack weakness. Jinwoo's eyes lit up. Just like the predators we've been studying, what if we could use what we've learned? What do you mean? Sun-hee asked. I mean, what if we tried to communicate with the Kraul the same way we did with the blade tails, by using the predator recognition signals? Sun-hee shook her head. The Kraul aren't animals, Jinwoo. They have spaceships and energy weapons. They're an advanced civilization. But they still have instincts, Ji-ho said slowly. All species do, especially those with strong evolutionary ties to their predator ancestors. She looked thoughtful. It's risky, but it might work. It's too dangerous, Sun-hee argued. We should focus on evacuation. The base alarm suddenly blared. Captain Yoon's voice came over the speakers. All personnel, the Kraul ship has changed course and increased speed. Estimated arrival now in 2 hours. All non-essential staff, report to emergency shelters immediately. 1 hour later, Jinwoo, Sun-hee, Ji-ho, and Captain Min-ho stood in the command center, looking at the screens showing the area around the base. The Kraul ship had landed 3 kilometers away, in a large clearing at the edge of the forest. They're sending out ground forces, Min-ho said, pointing to small dots moving from the ship. 30, maybe 40 soldiers. Standard Kraul tactic. Secure the area, eliminate any opposition. What's our plan? Jinwoo asked. We have 23 military personnel, Min-ho said. We'll set up defensive positions and try to hold them off until our extraction ships arrive. But if they bring heavy weapons... He didn't finish the sentence. Jinwoo looked at Ji-ho, who nodded slightly. Captain, Jinwoo said, I have another idea. One that doesn't involve fighting. Min-ho frowned. We don't have time for science now, Dr. Han. Just listen, Jinwoo insisted. We've been studying how predator species respond to humans. We've found that they recognize something in our eyes, something that makes them show respect rather than aggression. The Kraul evolved from ambush predators, Ji-ho added. They might respond to the same signals. If we could meet with their commander, using what we know about predator psychology, we might be able to avoid bloodshed. Min-ho looked skeptical. You want to walk up to the Kraul and stare them down? That's your plan? Not exactly, Jinwoo said. But something like that, yes. Sun-hee, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke up. I don't like it. It's too risky, but... She paused. I've seen it work with the most dangerous predators on this planet, and right now we don't have many options. Min-ho looked at the screens again. The Kraul forces were moving steadily toward the base. If this fails, we all die, he said bluntly. If we do nothing, we might all die anyway, Jinwoo replied. After a long moment, Min-ho nodded. I'll go with you. We'll take 4 of my best soldiers. The rest will stay here to protect the base if this goes wrong. I'm coming too, Sun-hee said. Ji-ho shook her head. I should stay here. I can analyze their responses in real time and advise you through the comms. Jinwoo took a deep breath. Let's prepare, we don't have much time. 2 hours later, Jinwoo, Sun-hee, Min-ho, and 4 soldiers stood at the edge of the base perimeter. In the distance, they could see the Kraul forces approaching. Tall, reptilian figures with scaled skin in colors of red and brown. They moved. With quick, sharp motions, their weapons held ready. Remember what we discussed, Jinwoo said to the group. Direct eye contact. Don't show fear. Move slowly but confidently. No sudden movements. And if they start shooting? One of the soldiers asked. Then we have our answer, Min-ho said grimly. And we fight. They began walking forward, across the open ground between the base and the forest. Jinwoo felt his heart pounding but kept his face calm and his steps steady. The Kraul spotted them and stopped. There was movement among their ranks, and then one figure stepped forward, taller than the rest with bright red scales and a complex helmet. That's their commander, Min-ho said quietly. Jinwoo nodded and continued walking. The rest of the group followed. They stopped about 10 meters from the Kral commander, close enough to see the vertical pupils in the alien's yellow eyes. For a long moment, no one moved. The Kral soldiers had their weapons raised, ready to fire. Then Jinwoo stepped forward, alone. He looked directly into the Kral commander's eyes. His gaze steady and unflinching. He didn't blink, didn't look away. The Kral commander stared back, his scaled face impossible to read. His hand rested on a weapon at his side. Jiho's voice came through Jinwoo's earpiece. Steady. His body language is changing. He's responding to the eye contact. The Kral commander made a sharp sound, like a hiss mixed with a click. The soldiers behind him tensed, but then something unexpected happened. The commander raised his hand and the soldiers lowered their weapons slightly. "It's working," Sun-hee whispered. The Kral commander took a step forward, still looking at Jinwoo. Then he spoke, his voice translated by the device on Jinwoo's wrist. "You are not fleeing," the Kral said. "Interesting. Most prey runs when the hunter approaches." Jinwoo kept his gaze steady. "We are not prey," he said simply. The Kral commander's head tilted slightly. "No," he said after a moment. "Perhaps you are not." He gestured to the base behind them. "You will take me to your leader. We will talk." Jinwoo nodded slowly, careful, to maintain eye contact for a moment longer before turning. As they walked back toward the base, he felt the Kral's eyes on him, watching with new interest. "What just happened?" Minho whispered. "They recognized something in us," Jinwoo said, quietly, just like all the other predators on this world. Sun-hee glanced back at the Kral forces following them at a careful distance. "Let's hope they continue to show the same respect," she said. "We're not out of danger yet." Behind them, the Kral commander watched the humans with new eyes, seeing for the first time something familiar in these strange, soft-skinned aliens, the look of a hunter that knew its own strength. The main meeting room of the human base was tense. On one side sat Captain Yoon, Jinwoo, Sun-hee, and Captain Minho. On the other side sat the Kral commander, who had introduced himself as Tharek, with two of his officers. Tharek's yellow eyes moved around the room, taking in everything. His scaled skin was a deep red that seemed to shimmer under the lights. When he moved, it was with quick, precise motions that reminded Jinwoo of the blade tails. "Your base is small," Tharek said. "Not what I expected from humans." "This is a research outpost, not a military base," Captain Yoon explained. "We're here to study the life on Terral, not to claim territory." Tharek made a clicking sound that might have been laughter. "All presence is a claim of territory. That is the way of things." Jinwoo leaned forward. "Commander Tharek, may I ask why the Kral Imperium has broken off relations with humans? What has happened?" Tharek's vertical pupils narrowed. "Your leaders pushed into systems that the Kral have marked for expansion. When we objected, they dismissed our concerns." His hand tightened on the table. "The Kral do not tolerate being dismissed," Minho spoke up. "Surely this can be resolved through diplomacy, not war." "Perhaps," Tharek said. "But the Kral respect strength, not words. Your leaders did not show strength, they showed—" He searched for the word. "Weakness." Jinwoo glanced at Jiho, who had been quietly observing. She gave a small nod, encouraging him. "Commander," Jinwoo said, "I'd like to show you something. Something about humans that might help you understand us better." Tharek tilted his head, curious. "Proceed." Jinwoo stood up and walked to the main screen on the wall. "We've been studying how predator species on Terral react to humans. Would you like to see what we found?" When Tharek nodded, Jinwoo played a series of short videos. The prismatic hunter backing away after making eye contact. The blade tails surrounding the humans and then retreating. 3 other encounters with different predators, all showing the same pattern. "These are the apex predators of Terral," Jinwoo explained. "Each one dangerous. Each one capable of killing humans easily. Yet none of them attack. Instead, they recognize something in us and show respect." Tharek watched with intense interest. What do they recognize? That's what we've been trying to understand, Jinwoo said. Dr. Lee has a theory. Jiho stood up. When predators look into human eyes, they see something familiar but also different. Humans evolved as hunters, but we don't have claws or great strength or speed. We hunt with our minds, with planning and tools and working together. She showed images comparing human eyes to predator eyes. Our eyes show focus and patience, like a predator's eyes. But they also show something more: calculation, understanding, foresight. The ability to see not just what is, but what could be. Tharek studied the images carefully. And you believe this is why the predators of Tiral do not attack you? Because they see another kind of predator? Yes, Jinwoo said. One that doesn't need to strike quickly because it knows it will win eventually. The room was quiet. Tharek seemed to be thinking deeply. Among the kraal, he finally said, there has been discomfort when facing human prisoners. Many warriors reported feeling strange when humans looked directly at them. He touched a scale near his eye. Their eyes don't show fear when they should. They show calculation. Jinwoo felt his heart beat faster. This was exactly what they had theorized. Commander, he said, perhaps this misunderstanding between our species comes from not recognizing each other properly. The kraal see humans as weak because we lack physical strength and aggression, but that's not where our strength lies. Tharek was about to respond when suddenly the floor shook. A loud rumbling sound came from outside. What was that? Minho said. Standing quickly, a human officer burst into the room. Earthquake! The sensors are showing massive seismic activity across the region. Another shake, stronger this time, made everyone grab for support. Alarms began to sound throughout the base. The dormant volcanoes, Jinwoo said with sudden understanding. They're waking up. Captain Yoon rushed to a control panel. All personnel, begin emergency evacuation procedures. This is not a drill. Tharek spoke rapidly to his officers in their own language. Then he turned to the humans. This entire area will soon be covered in lava. Our ship can take some of your people. Our extraction vessels won't arrive for hours, Minho said grimly. Another violent shake sent equipment crashing to the floor. The lights flickered. We need to work together, Jinwoo said, looking directly at Tharek. Human and kraal, or we all die here. Tharek held his gaze for a long moment, then nodded. Yes, predators are smart enough to flee a burning forest. He turned to Captain Yoon. How many of your people can be ready to move in 10 minutes? The next hours were chaos. The ground kept shaking as humans and kraal worked side by side, loading essential equipment and people onto the kraal ship and the few human shuttles available. In the forest, animals were fleeing. Jinwoo saw a group of prismatic hunters running past the base, their rainbow scales flashing in the strange red light from the sky. Even the predators knew when it was time to run. Jinwoo was helping load the last shuttle when Sun Hee found him. The final group is ready, she said. You need to get on board now. Jinwoo looked around at the base that had been his home for months. In the distance, he could see red-hot lava flowing down from the mountains. What about the research? He asked. Most of it is saved, and Jiho is already on the kraal ship with the backup drives. Sun Hee pulled his arm. Come on. As they ran to the shuttle, they passed Tharek, who was directing both his soldiers and the remaining humans. Commander, Jinwoo called. Are you coming? After the last of your people are safe, Tharek said. My ship can outrun the lava flow. Jinwoo looked into the kraal's yellow eyes one more time. Thank you, he said simply. Tharek made a gesture, with his hand that might have been a salute. Go, human. We will speak again when we are not running from fire. In the final evacuation shuttle, Jinwoo sat next to Sun Hee, watching through the window as they broke through Tiril's atmosphere. Below them, the surface glowed red and orange as lava spread across the land. Do you think this changes anything? Sun Hee asked quietly. Between humans and the kraal, I mean. Jinwoo thought for a moment. Tharek saw us differently today, not just as strange aliens but as fellow predators, as equals. It's not just that predators recognize something in human eyes, Sun Hee said, looking at the stars appearing as they left the planet behind. It's that humans recognize something in theirs too. The burden of being at the top, the responsibility that comes with power. Jinwoo nodded slowly. Perhaps that's humanity's true strength. Not that we became apex predators, but that we learned when not to act like them. The shuttle joined a small fleet of ships, both human and Kral, moving away from the dying planet. In the largest Kral vessel, Tharek was already sending a message to his leaders. The message spoke of humans not as weak prey to be conquered, but as a different kind of predator, one worthy of respect. And on Earth, when news of what happened on Taral reached the human leaders, new talks began with the Kral Imperium. Talks based not on fear or dominance, but on the recognition that sometimes the strongest hunters are those who know when to join the pack. Jinwoo's research became the foundation for a new field of study, evolutionary psychology of interspecies. Recognition. Across the galaxy, humans began to understand their place not as conquerors or as prey, but as something unique, predators who had learned to see beyond the hunt. In time, the story spread to other worlds and other species. The story of why apex predators across worlds recognize something in human eyes, the look of a hunter that had evolved beyond mere hunting, to building, creating, and understanding. The look of a species that had learned the greatest lesson of all. True power comes not from destroying but from protecting what matters.